Nice to meet you. My name is Lisa Fredericks, and I'm here to let you know that your husband Martin and I are in an intimate relationship now.
Excuse me? What do you mean by that? He's my husband, though.
I'm saying that we've been seeing each other in secret, but now that cat's out of the bag. We're madly in love, and things are very serious now. And he's so hot. I can't not have him all to myself anymore.
Okay, but what the heck? Martin is my husband!
Well, don't think too much, okay? Just give him to me.
Are you sure you aren't talking about someone else?
No, I'm pretty sure I'm not mistaken. You're Adriana McDonald, right? And your husband is Martin McDonald.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, this must all be the real deal then, huh? In other words, he really is having an affair with you.
It's probably hard for you to process right now, but I'm sure you'll understand here shortly. I made sure to prepare for any outcome that might come from telling you. But it seems you're handling this a lot better than I thought. You're no fun to mess with.
Well, I'm so sorry for my lack of enthusiasm at the moment.
Did you never believe that your husband loved you in the first place, then?
Well, when I really think about it, there were all sorts of vague things going on with him. He's been coming home later every night, and he'd always be texting someone when we were in bed together. And recently, he's even been spending a lot more money. So all of the red flags were there, actually.
Well, when you're being cheated on, things like that will tend to show up, huh? So I'm sure you're not too shocked then.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I am still floored. But more than that, I'm just glad I found the answer I've been looking for. And also, we have sort of been in a bad relationship for a while now, so I'm not all too into him anymore.
Oh, what? This is getting interesting. And you're pretty blunt about that, huh? Now I can understand why he cheated on you. I'm sure that when he would come home to you, you weren't very entertaining at all. I bet you never took care of him. So he had to find his satisfaction somewhere else, and thank God he found it in me.
Right. Feel free to think what you want. Why do you want to talk to me anyway? Is there a reason for texting me this late? Was it just to tell me that you're my husband's new toy?
I just wanted to say that I'm going to be borrowing your husband from now on is all. And actually, the two of us just got engaged. But since you're still around, the two of us can't get married legally just yet. Do you get what I'm telling you here?
I see. So you are just trying to get me out of the picture then. Well, I have one more question before we proceed with all of that. How did the two of you meet each other?
We met at my part-time job. It all started off with your husband calling out to me there.
Oh, wow. Are you serious?
When we first met there, I knew he was going to be the man I needed. So before he left, we made plans for a date the next day. That's right. I work at a strip club, you see.
What? How old are you then?
Just turned 23.
Wow. Pretty young, aren't you? And that's a pretty big age gap the two of you have if you want to get married.
Well, as you know, men are usually attracted to younger and more beautiful women in general, right? And I heard that you're already past 30. For you. I'd say you've gone beyond your prime years now, huh?
If that's your point of view, then let it be. I enjoy being in my 30s, thank you very much. You'll know when you reach your 30s, too. And that's inevitable, too, by the way. So anyway, how long have the two of you been seeing each other for?
For just about 2 months.
What? Wait, it's only been 2 months? And you're all right to get married to him and all of that? Getting married and having to live with him?
Well, I've never dated someone as perfect and sexy as Martin, so I had to snatch him while I could. And I always believe in love at first sight. As soon as the two of us laid eyes on each other, The sparks were flying for sure.
So you really love him that much? My God.
Yes, I do, and he's mine. Forever.
Well, if you're that serious about it, then whatever.
Just remember that Martin is now going to be my husband, okay? So don't bother trying anything with him. And divorce him already, will you?
I need to at least talk to him about all this, okay? Once we get everything figured out, which hopefully will be tomorrow, I'll talk to you again and maybe we can get things moving then.
Alright, as long as you stick to your promise.
Sure. Hi, Lisa. It's me. I hope you know who I am. Anyway, last night my husband and I had quite the talk. I'll be happy to tell you that it went better than I had initially expected.
Then that's great. And I'm sure it was all about my new relationship with him, right?
Yeah, and it turns out that what you said was true. I didn't want to believe it, but he really has been cheating on me with you, huh? At least I know the truth now.
Yep. Like I told you. Nothing was a lie. So let's get going then. You're going to leave him now, right?
And that's exactly what I plan to do. I told him last night that things between us were over. We were going to separate before you came into the picture anyways. Even if we kept trying to keep our relationship alive, there was really no point in it.
That's great then. So when are you guys going to separate?
Well, I'd like to get all the divorce papers turned in as soon as I can. I'll have to hand those in at the family courthouse and get them reviewed or approved or whatever. But after that, I should be good to go. Happy now?
Sure. But I'd appreciate it if you could hurry up and get it done. We don't have time to waste. OMG, I can't believe that I'll finally be able to marry the man of my dreams. I'm so excited. I can't believe things are going so smoothly for me. You're actually not bad, Adriana.
Good. And hey, I have a few things to ask you though.
Sure. Like what?
What do you see in that man that is so good to you? Really?
He's not only really kind to me, but his face is just my type.
That can't be all you're after in a man, right? Why are you so excited to get married to him this quickly?
Well, I suppose it could also be for the money he has. Martin's a doctor, right? So he should have all sorts of money saved up. So I really want to tie the knot with him, and then get that money put to good use in my life.
Doctor?
Doctors are known to be filthy rich, right? So with that, I can quit my job and live the rest of my life as a free housewife. Having money come into the house without even having to work is the best!
I guess I should have known. So it's been mainly about the money.
Wait, before you think I'm a shallow person, Martin also knows about my love for money and things. So even if you tell him about this, I don't think he'll care. So you shouldn't bother with it. And just so you know, he really does love me.
You don't have to worry about me telling any of this to him. At this point, I have no relation to that man.
You giving up this fast has really helped me out a bunch. Then all you need to do now is get out of that house. I'll be the new lady of the house after you're gone.
You have a point. I have to hurry things up and find a moving company to help me move out my things then.
And maybe to make things go quicker, you can move somewhere like a small studio apartment, right? I mean, after you leave Martin, you won't have any money to spend. So a cheap little apartment should be the best option for you. And also, if you don't mind me saying this, I suggest you to pick up a part-time job too. You're not exactly young, so you should start looking now and take anywhere where they'll accept you.
That's fine. I'll be all right. I'll figure something out on my own.
You don't have to try too hard, Grandma. It's already hard enough on you being thrown out by your well-off husband, right? You might even have to live off eating the grass in a park to save you extra money.
You really don't need to worry about me. And before you start to even worry, I need to get this divorce paperwork filled out. And you should focus on preparing for your wedding. Am I right?
What? was only trying to give you advice. Why do you have to be such a Debbie Downer?
By the way, I'm just giving you some advice since I'm his ex-wife. And Martin is actually pretty stubborn, and it can be hard for him to get motivated to do anything in life. So you might need to learn how to be the strict one in the house. If you don't bother getting any of the wedding plans figured out, Martin will definitely not do it either.
Well, I guess. I might as well get to it then.
All he really needs to do is be there to pay for it. So you should put your heart into it and find somewhere you have always been dreaming of having a wedding held at. And when it comes to the wedding, buy whatever ring you love the most, since he has all the money in the world to pay for it. That's my 2 cents for you. Anyway, I'm going to start working on packing my things now.
Okay. Are you sure I can do that? Choose anywhere I want and whatever I want?
Like I said, having Martin pay for it all would be the best choice. So of course. Or are you saying that he isn't willing to hand over the money for that? He should have already spent lots of money on you while the two of you were going out, right?
Yeah, I guess he has. I guess it won't be a problem then.
I'm sure that man would spend any amount on you.
That's absolutely right. I'm actually planning to use all the nice things you have in this house for the wedding. And you're going to regret having ever known me.
Okay, if that's what you say.
Don't forget that I still don't like you at all. I'll make sure that the wedding ring I choose has a huge diamond on it. A one that costs a fortune. You should sell your wedding ring while you can and use that money to get by while you live all alone. Poor thing. It's tough to be dumped by a rich man, isn't it?
You bet. I guess that's good advice from you. And it's not like those things at the house mean anything to me now anyway.
Ha! Serves you right for not having divorced Martin sooner. I just bought one of the most gorgeous wedding rings ever, Adriana. And on top of that, I booked our wedding at one of the most famous and popular wedding halls in town. Man, does this feel great or what?
Is that so? Well, congratulations. Right now, I'm still working on getting all my things packed away and ready to move. I think that by the end of the day tomorrow, I'll be out of this house.
I'm also working on getting this place cleaned up and ready to move. It feels amazing to finally move out of this small apartment. I'm really sorry that I stole your rich husband from you, Adriana. Good luck with your new life as a poor old single grandma.
I'm not even close to the age of being a grandma, thanks.
Well, whatever you want to believe. As for me, I'm going to be ready for this new lifestyle surrounded by money and wealth.
If that's what you want to call it.
Well, it's the truth. I'm going to have myself a husband who's a wonderful and rich doctor.
For some reason, I feel you're very much mistaken about all that. The only person who's a doctor in the family is actually my dad.
What? What are you talking about?
I'm saying that you're probably mistaken because my dad is the doctor. And Martin isn't. I don't know why you think he's a doctor. But like I said, you should know that he isn't. Okay?
I don't get why you're lying to me right now. There's no need to be so immature with this. Is this you trying to get back at me?
You really believe he's a doctor then? I think you should reconsider everything he's told you before you go ahead with all the plans you've made for the wedding in your future.
What are you freaking talking about?
I don't think Martin actually wants to marry you. When we spoke the other day, he was begging me not to leave him and that he still wants to be with me.
You think I don't know that that's blatantly a lie? You're not going to trick me into things like that, you know. Saying that he isn't a doctor. Yeah, right. Don't treat me like an idiot who'll fall for that crap.
I'm saying that he doesn't even want to marry you. I think you're the one that's being lied to by him, not me. I'm sorry to say this to you, but I think he only saw you as his side chick, rather than taking you seriously. He's not that stupid to choose someone because they want what little money he has.
What the heck are you going on about now? Shut up! Haven't you had enough messing around with me like that?
He doesn't even have a reason to want to marry you, since you're only working a part-time job. I mean, he's the one who needs money, probably more than you do. And he's in financial trouble now that I've dumped his sorry behind.
Why do you keep trying to make me doubt the man of my dreams?
I'm just saying that you're being played right now. I'm sure that the only thing he can hope for now is for you to have more money than him. Because right now, Martin is unemployed.
That can't be true. You have to stop lying to me about all of this.
None of what I've been saying to you is a lie.
I saw all the evidence he has showing he's a doctor. Inside his backpack, he had a photo of him with other doctors in a hospital.
You do realize that people can Photoshop pictures like that so easily now.
But he even showed me more pictures of him inside the hospital. He was there with other doctors and nurses, and he had on his lab coat.
I think those pictures are all from my dad's new hospital, which he built recently. We were allowed to try on the doctor's lab coats and scrubs and whatnot. You know, and take pictures for fun. I'm sure that in some of those pictures I'm standing there next to Martin wearing one too. It was the opening event of a new hospital, and it was so much fun actually.
What? Why would you do that?
3 years ago, when my dad first opened his own hospital, we went in as a family to have cool pictures of us all taken. Since Martin was my husband, in other words, family, my dad wanted him to understand where he worked. So he let us come in and see what it was like to be a doctor there. Every so often, when Martin and I have time to go out, we go there and see my dad. It's rare for normal people to go into a hospital and try on the doctor's outfits and see all the rooms, right? But since it was my dad, he let Martin do all of that stuff.
What? So is he really not a doctor? Is that what you're telling me? What does he do for a living then? And what the heck do you do then?
I told you he's out of a job.
No, you can't be serious. Are you being serious? OMG, no way!
As for me, I work for a company making medical equipment and machines for hospitals and smaller clinics. That's what made me the breadwinner when I was with Martin.
What about all the money that he used to buy me my gifts with?
That was all the money he took from me and my hard-earned money. And that house that I've been living in with Martin was the house that my father handed down to me. And when Martin became unemployed, my dad was kind enough to help pay our bills since I was the only one working.
So you guys didn't buy that house yourselves?
Nope. It was my dad who helped us get that house. Besides, that place is way too big for just one person, so my dad and I are thinking of other plans for it. There's really no choice for him, actually, since he doesn't have the money to pay any of the bills for that house. And my dad is definitely not going to give him any more money now that this has happened.
But I've already started preparing to move out of my place to go and live there. I threw out most of my furniture, TV, and the fridge and everything else. My clothes and my bed. Why the hell is this all happening to me now?
Well, that's just bad timing, I guess.
You! OMG. You're the one that did this to me. Fix it!
I think you're still confused about everything there, Lisa. Didn't you have a conversation with Martin yesterday, before you started all of this?
No, he's been busy for me recently. Actually, we don't normally call or text each other.
Maybe that's because he's been trying his hardest to get me to forgive him. So he doesn't have the time anymore to pay attention to you.
Well, the only reason I started dating him was because he told me he was a doctor. I thought he was just always busy with work. Are you telling me that he's just an unemployed loser?
He must have thought you were one of the lucky ones who gets to have a doctor as your sugar daddy, huh? The fact that he led you on like that only to turn his back on you the moment I told him I was leaving. Well, that must suck, huh? Poor you, Lisa. I just can't wrap my head around why men like that exist. I guess that's why he just wanted to play around with you behind my back.
What do you mean?
Well, because I could never be bothered to give him the attention he always craved for. He just wanted someone to give him attention, right? So he found you and used you for that.
What the hell? Shut the frick up! He's not using me. I even told that man that I quit my job at the strip club. I went around bragging to all my friends that I'd be getting to marry a wealthy man and would never have to work a day in my life again.
Well, maybe the two of you should have been more honest to each other. You were tricked by him, so maybe that's good grounds for calling off the wedding, right?
If I ask for that, I'll be made fun of by all of my friends. That's humiliating. I can't believe he would do this to me. I'm only 23 and he took advantage of me.
You say that now, but you had originally planned on marrying him before you learned the truth. He's going to come after you now that he has been cast out by me. Well, anyway, take good care of him for me, okay?
OMG, no! Why do I have to be the one to care for this loser of a grown man?
Because you're the only person Martin can rely on now. I'm going back to my parents for a little while, so he can't get to me anyway. He's actually very afraid of my dad as it is. But now I bet he's crapping himself whenever I talk about my dad.
So Martin is really going to move in with me? I can't do this. I don't want him coming into this small apartment and begging me for money.
Well, you might just have to now.
I can't take it anymore. What am I going to do about him? Now that he thinks I want to stay with him, he's been causing me all sorts of problems.
I knew he'd move in with you soon after I left.
He's even been coming to my work insisting we talk about this. But I want him the heck away from me.
Well, me and him are divorced now, so there's no reason for me to care what goes on with you both. All I am now is just another random person that isn't a part of your drama. And didn't you tell him that you loved him? You should keep to your word and start supporting your partner, right?
My partner? Oh, no. I only loved him when I thought he was a successful doctor. But since he's just a step away from being a homeless man, I have no desire to keep him in my house.
By the way, didn't you tell me you were going to quit that job as a stripper? Do you think you'll be able to stick around and continue working there?
Why? For now, as soon as I find a new place to work at, I'm leaving this job.
Well, you did tell everyone there you'd be leaving to get married, right? So I'm betting things have gotten really awkward there between you all. But at least now you can find a new start, and maybe even start working multiple jobs.
And why would I want to do that?
Because the money you're going to be bringing in will be a lot more important than before. You'll have to start paying off a court settlement in a bit.
What the hell? What the hell is that?
Don't be surprised to hear this. Martin cheated on me with you, so this was bound to happen. Of course, I'll be suing Martin as well, so you're not alone in this. But trust me, I'll be suing you for emotional damage and whatnot too.
I'm already borrowing a ton of money. You think I'll have the money and time to deal with a lawsuit?
Ah, you must have taken all that money out to buy that wedding ring and the wedding hall, right? Did you also have to buy new furniture and appliances and whatnot?
Stop getting all excited over this. I'm sure you made it seem like I needed to prepare for that lousy wedding right away so that I'd be out a lot of money.
Well, it'll be all right. You'll be able to pay whatever fine you have to pay in small amounts each month.
But aren't you living with a family who has all sorts of money now? There's no reason for you to be asking me for money.
Well, I'm not really a fan of using all my dad's hard-earned money. Also, I'm really looking forward to getting my revenge on the both of you. You've already spent at least $50,000, right? And I'm sure that hurts you to think about. So hopefully, I'm also able to get an extra $50,000 from you.
I see what this is now. This is the kind of person you have really been all this time. You've been nice to me for a bit, but right after I took the bait and fell, you want to finish me now, huh?
It's not like that at all, actually. I've just been thinking of the best way to make sure that your lust for other people's money doesn't cause anyone else any harm, like it did me. That should be pretty understandable, right?
You frickin' nasty dog!
The next time you'll be talking with me is when I have my lawyer with me to have a talk about how I'll be suing you. This will be the last time I talk to you, okay?
Wait! I'm not finished here yet. What am I going to do about Martin? Take him back! I don't want him anymore!
Maybe you could try telling him your true feelings for a change? I'm sure you're also pissed at him for the ways he lied to you, right? I think you should use that anger to destroy him while he's weak, so to speak.
You want me to end this with him?
You should tell him that unless he breaks up with you, that you'll take him to court.
But I won't be winning in that situation either.
Seriously? Just take my advice and make sure he stays away from you. I'm gonna get going now, so good luck with everything.
Wait, no. Adriana!
I couldn't believe my eyes when I heard that Lisa got arrested. Apparently, she went to talk with Martin that only ended up with her beating the living daylights out of him, which was how it led to her arrest. Then she had to go to court to stand in trial. And she really must have been pissed with Martin, because she told the judges that she thought she had every right to do that to a lying cheater like him. He couldn't defend himself at court since he needed to go to the hospital for his injuries, but a lawyer was appointed to defend him. But that really didn't help. The funny thing is, Martin actually ended up having to visit my dad's hospital for his injuries. And man, did my dad really chew him up after he found out what he did to me. I'm sure none of that taught Martin any new lessons, but it sure did make him pee his pants a bit when he saw my dad walk in. As for me, I'm back living at my parents' house. I'm still able to travel to my office every day from here, so it's not a problem at all. And with that, I can spend more time again with two of the best parents in the world. And I couldn't ask for more. Back when I was living with that mess of a husband, there was never a day that actually felt fun to me. As of right now, the two of them are slowly paying off the settlements I asked for, and hopefully that won't stop. And it seems like it'll take a few more years before they come close to paying off this debt to me. Lisa was bonded out of jail and has found 3 jobs that she's working day and night to pay for the money she borrowed from the bank and her other fines. It even looked like she took out over $70,000 for the wedding plan she had. So, good luck to her. I'd imagine that being lied to and played like a fool can be a very scary and dangerous thing.
Thanks for watching. Feel free to like the video and leave a comment. See you in the next one.
Crystal, did you eat the meatloaf? The meatloaf that I made this morning for your sister? Don't tell me you finished the whole thing.
Yeah, I ate it. Was I not supposed to do that?
I told you not to eat any meat or fish without asking first. How many times do I have to tell you? They are not made for the likes of you to just devour like that, okay?
What do you mean the likes of me? I'm your daughter just as much as my older sister, so why do you discriminate and mistreat me so much all the time? Why do you always favor my sister no matter what the situation? I mean, what kind of mother are you?
Think of it as your punishment for being born when you shouldn't have been born. You entered my body without my permission. That's your crime, and that's why you should be punished.
What? Do you think I chose to be born?
Why do I have to listen to such harsh words from you and be accused just for being born, all because I had some meatloaf? I was just hungry, so I had something to eat before I went to the library. Was that such a horrible thing to do? Library? Why would someone like you need to go to the library?
What do you mean, why? Someone like me shouldn't even study? Is that what you're saying? I'm so ostracized in my own family and have no one else to rely on. I know better than anyone that studying is my only option if I want to have any chance of creating a decent life for myself.
Oh, is that so? What studying are you even talking about? You don't have what it takes. You're not even going to be able to go to college. So wake up from your fantasies and come back home now to do your chores.
Why wouldn't I be able to go to college? I'm going to go to university no matter what.
Huh! Do you think our family is rich or something? There's no way we can afford to send the both of you to college with the mere salary that your father earns. There is such a thing as an order to this universe, okay? Your sister came first and you second. So your sister is going to college and you'll go to work directly after high school. You can contribute to the household by earning money and also help pay for your sister's tuition.
No way. Why should I do that? Because you should be forever grateful that we didn't just throw you away to the orphanage or abandon you on someone else's doorstep. That's why. Even though I never wanted to have you in the first place. Don't you think it's your humanly duty to repay us with gratitude for feeding you and raising you until now? You didn't even breastfeed me because you thought it was too much work and annoying, and now you want me to repay you for what you've done for me? You never even bought a single pencil for me when I was a kid. And yet you bought all the pretty dolls and expensive toys for my sister's birthdays. All my clothes are hand-me-downs that my sister grew out of. Well, she was always dressed and made up like a princess. I swear I would have believed that you were my stepmother if there wasn't such a resemblance between us. Can you even begin to imagine how hurt and confused I was as a small kid growing up in a house like that?
So what? Do you think you're so special? Everyone does that. They wear hand-me-downs from their older siblings. It's not like we have a money printing machine at home, okay? With what money do you think we can afford to dress the both of you in new clothes in the same way when you two are just 1 year apart? If you were going to complain so much, then you should just never have been born. Do you think that I had any choice to have you myself?
So then why did you have me? Maybe you shouldn't have, after all.
Your grandmother was so adamant that this time I'd give birth to a boy, and she threatened to separate your father and I if I didn't have the baby. So I had no choice and had to do it against my will. But it turned out that you were just another girl. And of course, my relationship with your grandparents became a whole lot worse after it turned out to be just a girl, all thanks to you. I've never had a peaceful day in my life before your grandmother. That old crone died, all right?
Oh God, not this story again. You never get tired of the same old story, do you?
Yeah, I don't. So don't mention again about going to college and whatnot, and instead think about making money in a factory after graduation. How many times do I have to tell you that that's the whole reason that you're born?
No, I refuse to agree with you. Whether I borrow from a friend or get a student loan, I'm going to take care of the tuition myself. The moment I get accepted into college, I'm getting out of here. That's the only way I'm going to be able to truly live my life.
What? Get out? If you leave, then who's going to do the chores around here? Don't be talking such nonsense, all right? And what, you're going to borrow money from a friend? You're not even old enough to have a fully developed brain, and you're already thinking about borrowing money from here and there? I can see it now. Exactly how your life will turn out. Anyway, what friend are you even talking about? Don't tell me you're dating some boy. Your sister did say that she saw you walking past with a guy the other day. Was that your boyfriend and not just a friend?
So what, am I not allowed to have a boyfriend either? My sister has had plenty of boyfriends already. Am I not allowed to have one myself too?
Do you think you're the same as your sister? You should know your place. How would you even date a guy as a girl in your position? Wanting to date men at such a young age and being such a tramp, I can already tell that you're going to have not such a bright future. And the kind of boys that'd want to date you, well, I don't even have to meet them to know what they're like. Probably from a poor family and an ugly good-for-nothing too. You know the saying, birds of a feather flock together.
Oh, you think my boyfriend is from a poor family? At least he lives a lot better than us, okay? He lives in a huge house with a big garden and his family has a maid. He's from a different kind of world from ours.
Well then, why would such a well-to-do guy want to date you? If you're going to lie, then at least try to make it a little bit believable. Break it off with that good-for-nothing boyfriend of yours and go meet a guy that I set you up with.
What guy?
I told you about him the other night. This man that I know who owns a building and is super rich. If you marry him, then you can live the good life and do whatever you like without wanting for anything. So don't complain and go and meet him at least once.
Well, if he's such a catch, then great. You can introduce him to Amelia, who you love so much.
Amelia is going to college and going to meet the love of her life and have a beautiful romance. So why would she want to date an old man like that? He's gone totally bald and short like a dwarf, a middle-aged man past his prime. How dare you say he's your sister's match? Unbelievable!
Oh, so you think it's okay for me to date such a guy, but not for her. Right. Didn't you carry me in your womb for 9 months and give birth to me just like her? I don't think even a stepmother would treat me with such cruelty. Just shut up, will ya? You should just be thankful every day to me for not getting rid of you when I had the chance. I should have just thrown you away on someone else's front door as soon as you were born. So, just do as you're told and stop complaining, all right? If you got married to a rich man, then it would be win-win for the both of us. Do you think an opportunity like this would happen again? I already have someone I like, and I'm never going to meet someone that you set me up with. So just give it up, Mom. If you're not going to listen to anything that I say, then get out of the house. Go on, crawl out of my house with your belongings like some kind of homeless beggar. Is that what you really want to say to your teenage daughter? Teenage? Don't even kid yourself. You already know all about men, and you don't even listen to your own mother. So I don't know who this teenage daughter is that you're talking about. I don't need any daughter like you, so just get out of my sight. Our horribly unwelcome relationship ends right here and now, so don't you think about making an appearance in front of me ever again. Do you really mean that? You want to end our relationship as mother-daughter for good? I am 100% sure of it, so don't even call me your mother anymore. And don't even bother saying hello if we ever run into each other in the streets. Whether you live or starve or freeze to death, it's none of my business now. Ma'am, are you sure that you want to throw away your daughter, Crystal? What? Who is this? This is Crystal's boyfriend. Are you really getting rid of her like you said? You insolent kids! You two are not even out of high school yet, and you're running around together in the middle of the day doing God knows what. Yeah, I got rid of her, so what? What are you gonna do about it? Okay, then I'll take her. What? I will take Crystal from now on. Huh, you think this is funny, do you? You want to take a girl for yourself. Listen to your self-talk. I can tell what kind of uneducated little brat you are just from this small exchange alone. Anyway, you can take her and boil her alive, or roast her over a fire to eat for supper, because I'm getting rid of her for good. Hey, Crystal, honey, I heard you're getting married soon. Your aunt told me about it. If you were going to get married, then you should have contacted me first. How can you let someone else tell your own mother about the news of your wedding? I'm sorry, who is this? I don't have a mother. My own mother, who is not even a real mother to me, died 6 years ago. Don't say that even if you're just saying it out of anger, all right? Here I am, your mom, alive and kicking, and you're saying such horrible things about me? That's no way to treat and respect your mother who gave birth to you and raised you. You told me yourself that you gave birth to me because you didn't have any choice. And you gave me so much trauma by discriminating against me and favoring Amelia all throughout my childhood, and you still think of yourself as my mother? You were the one who told me to never come into your sight ever again. So why are you being nice to me now, huh? You know, I was just showing you some tough love, all because I wanted you to become a more independent person. Now that you've grown up so well all by yourself, you have no idea how proud I am of you, my little baby girl. Oh my gosh. You're giving me the chills right now with your fakeness. Your little baby girl? I've never heard those words in my life, and honestly, they make me feel so awkward and uncomfortable and just sound so distasteful to my ears. Really? You're gonna make me barf, so just stop it already. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. We are mother and daughter and connected by blood. If I wasn't alive, then you wouldn't have been born, and you would not have been able to have the kind of happiness that you have now. Anyway, I heard that you're getting married into a rich family. Don't those sort of families look into the backgrounds of the people they're marrying into? Suppose they found out that you're some kind of orphan without a mother. They'd never accept you as a member of their household. Why are you worrying about dumb stuff like that? My future parents-in-law already know all about my situation, and they actually took pity on me. They're the kind and caring people that accepted me and raised me with love for 6 years. What do you mean accepted and raised you as a daughter for 6 years? I've been living with them ever since you kicked me out of your own house 6 years ago, at my boyfriend's house. What?
Your boyfriend's house. You mean to say that that rude and disrespectful little kid was really the son of a rich family?
Yeah, just like I told you.
No way that that's true. Why would such a well-to-do son of some rich family want to marry someone like you? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, well, I don't really understand it either. I wonder what he saw in me. Someone who was cold-hearted and protective of her heart like a hedgehog because she was never loved as a child. Somehow he was able to accept me into his heart without any limitations. Maybe God took pity on me and sent me a blessing in the form of an angel. Since I was never loved by my parents and had such a rough start of life.
You should hand over your boyfriend to your sister to hook them up, you know? You were born to hand over all the good things in life to your sister. That's the reason you came into being, and it's your destiny.
What? Are you out of your mind? Even after 6 long years, and yet you haven't changed at all? Do you seriously think people are things like clothes or shoes that you can just hand over? You think you can just take someone away if you want them for yourself?
Well, I don't see why not. I'm sure you've already made all the reservations and plans for the wedding, so we can just exchange the brides.
Wow. I think that you need to go to a therapist and get a checkup done. Really, I'd rather go talk to a cow than talk to someone like you who's not right in their own mind. I'm gonna block you forever, so don't even call me disgusting things like your little baby girl ever again. And don't bother pretending to know me if we ever run into each other in the streets.
Crystal, wait. Listen to your mother, please. I beg you.
I don't have anything more to say to you or anything else I want to hear from you, all right?
All right. I won't tell you again to hand over your fiancé to your sister. But can you please send me some money? The truth is, Amelia wasn't able to get a job and she had a tough time with money, so she got herself into a little bit of debt. And she wasn't able to pay back that debt in time, and now it's grown and grown into this massive amount. It's not the kind of money that we'd ever be able to pay back on our own. You're engaged to the son of a rich family, and you're earning good money for yourself, too. And we're your only blood relations. I mean, we're family after all.
Family. She always took advantage of the fact that you favored her over me and always took all my things. And she was always trying to destroy any plans and dreams that I ever had for myself, so no, I don't consider her to be my sister. We didn't tell each other any secrets or worries we might have like other sisters might do. Having such a sister who is no better than a stranger, or rather yet, who's worse than a stranger, I forgot about and got rid of her in my mind's eye a long time ago.
Still, you are sisters born from the same parents. No matter how much you hated, she's your older sister. Your sister is about to live a life full of burden and grief that's not really living, being chased around by debt, and yet you don't feel an inkling of desire to help her out, and you choose to be selfish until the very end?
Who do you really think is the selfish and cruel one in this situation? I don't have anything more to add, so I'm going to block you now.
No, wait, Crystal. It was all my fault, okay? I'm begging you, so please help us out. That day I threw you out, and those harsh words I said to you. I'll repent it over and over as long as I live, all right? So please, just give us one last chance.
No thanks. Don't ever interfere in my life ever again. Don't ever show that shameless face in front of me ever again either. I will get a restraining order if I have to, so that I never have to deal with such toxic people like you lot. So don't contact me ever again. After that day, I blocked my mom and my sister from my life. I don't even know how they're living now, but they're probably living every day feeling as if they're walking on top of a half-frozen lake trying to constantly escape from their debt. Well, it's no longer my business how they live their lives. We came into this world as a family, but all they did was hurt me, and the connection unfortunately had to end as it turned into a terribly toxic relationship. Because I never wanted to be dealing with those people ever again just for the sake of being related by blood. On the other hand, I married my longtime boyfriend who took care of me and comforted me for all those years, and now I'm actually pregnant and awaiting the birth of a new life. It's my small wish that I'll live every day happily so that I can make up for all the sad days of the past.
Hey, you need to leave my man. I need to be married to him already.
But I can't do that when you're still in the picture. So, I need you to be gone from his life.
Who is this? What on earth are you talking about? And how dare you talk to me like that? Do you even know who I am?
Of course I know who you are. Your husband isn't home yet, is he? And he's never been home before 11 p.m. lately. And you also can't stand his snoring, so you guys sleep in separate rooms.
How did you know that?
Like I was saying, your husband is my man. I know him better than you ever will. He's been super worried about upsetting me, so he's been lying to you and saying that he needs to work late, when in truth, he's here with me. I've been telling him that I hate sharing him with you. Did you know that's the real reason why you guys use separate rooms? Why he doesn't even touch you anymore?
What are you saying? He doesn't touch me? Oh, then tell me, how am I pregnant right now?
That was a drunk accident and you know it. It's your cunning schemes. You tricked him into getting you pregnant. That was your only way to keep him. He doesn't even love you. You should be ashamed. Don't use your pregnancy as a means to keep a man. Do you know how devastated he was when he found out you were carrying his child? You've just made a mess of a situation. He was so apologetic that he couldn't go up and leave you and your pathetic baby.
So you knew I was pregnant and was still okay with having an affair with him. Don't you dare speak about my baby with your filthy mouth. You're his mistress. You're having an affair with a married man. How dense are you? Do your friends know that you're a homewrecker?
Leave my friends out of this. All you got going is the fact that you're pregnant. You have nothing else. And none of that is going to work anyway. I don't care if you have his baby or not. I'm marrying my man either way. I'll give him plenty more children if he wants. He doesn't want a child with a woman he doesn't even love. Face the facts and leave him. I don't care what you do with that child.
I was the one to get married to him, but didn't realize just how much of an idiot he is. It's unbelievable he'd have an affair with a low-life woman that's as uncultured as you are. I knew something was up when he started paying attention to his appearance, dressing nicely, having plans without me, but I never thought he'd be the type of scum that would have an affair while his wife was pregnant with his child. 6 years of marriage, in shambles, in an instant. I thought we were something special, even back when we first started dating back in college. I never thought my life would be the subject of some soap opera story. I can't believe this is happening to me. I guess you never know with men. How he would betray me like this?
I hate to break up the pity party, but there's no point in you staying with him. He doesn't love you. You'll never be happy with him. All that stuff about you guys dating in college like it means something. I'll have you know I actually went to the same high school as your husband. He was into me way before you guys even met, in 9th grade. I was way out of his league, mind you. He was just some chubby nerd kid back then. I ended up rejecting him when he told me he had feelings for me. He moved to a different city for his dad's work shortly after. I lost contact with him for a while. That is until we met at our high school reunion last year. I could see that he was a totally different person. So much taller, so fit, and so established in his field, not to mention generous with his money. Naturally, I was a little curious. We started chatting about the good old days, flirted a bit, and he had such a cute memory of me as his high school crush, you know? And as you can guess by now, the rest is history. There's no way that you can compare our love story to yours. Ours is real. It has history. I'm the one that got away. The one that he worshipped for so long. And after all these years, he never forgot about me. There's absolutely no questioning who he loves more. You really should have figured that out already.
That's a lengthy answer to a question I never asked. So let me get this straight. You want to marry a man who had an affair while his wife is at home pregnant with their child. I don't know what you're even thinking, but once a cheater, always a cheater. There are so many guys you can be with out there, and you choose him? A cheater?
Yeah, I do. And you're right. He is absolutely terrible. Exactly why you should leave him. So you are divorcing him, right? Well then, got it done already.
A shocking contact from the woman my husband is having an affair with. I had a gut feeling that something was wrong when he stopped caring about the things that he used to. The short replies, the emotional distance, always looking at that phone of his. He was never home on the weekends. Truly, there were signs and I ignored it. Or maybe I just didn't want to believe it. And nothing in the world would have prepared me for what I just went through. His mistress contacting me? I was in shock. But I knew that I had to be strong, if not for myself, for my unborn child. My husband eventually admitted to everything. He seemed to be aware of the damage he's done, and as some sort of redemption of the pain he caused, he also gave me his word that he'd look after me and my baby, to do everything he can to support us financially, to do whatever it takes to give us a comfortable life without him. So the divorce process began. I was putting things in place with the little energy I had left when I got yet another text from that woman.
I told you to divorce him. Why haven't you done it yet? What is taking so long? Is it still so hard to let go of a man who cheated on you?
It's a legal process and we're still technically married. It's a lot more complicated than an ordinary breakup. There are a lot of things that need to be put in place and it won't happen overnight. We need to settle on an alimony, child support, so many things we need to consider.
Why didn't you say so? Did you really think that I'd rob you out of your settlement? I'm not that heartless.
Oh, so you do have some common sense? That should make this a better experience.
Look, I'm willing to pay you the alimony and the child support or whatever. Just agree that you'll be left out of his will.
What are you talking about?
I know that his father left him with over $1 million when he passed. Surely you didn't think any of that money was going to go to you now.
Oh, so you were after his money this whole time.
Speak for yourself. You're probably not wanting to give that up either. If you divorce him, you know that you're not entitled to any of that, which is probably why you keep delaying the whole thing. But guess what? That changes nothing. You can't fix a broken marriage. You're still married to a cheater who's madly in love with someone else. Me.
You're in no position to tell me what to do, so shut it. And trust me, when it's ready, I'm going to divorce that cheater and never look back. So stop contacting me.
Really? You mean that? Well, then hurry up. I don't have all day. There's nothing good in putting this off. Stress is bad for your baby, you know.
The audacity of this woman. She had no shame. Now that I've decided to go through with the divorce, there really was no point in me delaying things. So I found a divorce lawyer, and we swiftly got it finalized within a week. I eventually had to move out of her house, the house my father-in-law gifted us when we got married. Even though I was devastated and spent most of the time crying myself to sleep, I needed to be strong for my unborn child. It was just the two of us now, me and my son. For the next 6 years, life seemed to go on. Then, all of a sudden, I see a painfully familiar contact pop up.
Hey girl, we haven't spoken in a while. Has it really been 6 years? I still remember taking your man away from you like it was yesterday. Also, you getting kicked out of your own home with your enormous pregnant belly. I'll never forget that. Time travels fast, doesn't it? You must have had it rough as a single mom. Or maybe not so rough since we gave you more than enough money to get by.
Why did you contact me? Are you checking to see how miserable I am? To mock me after all these years? Or are you worried that he'll eventually come back to me? Is that why you're checking up on me?
What?
I heard you were terrified that he'll regret being with you one day, so much that you did everything you could to cut me completely out of his life. Were you really that scared? Where did all that confidence go? Like the time you were telling me that he was madly in love with you?
Oh, you don't have to worry about that. That's actually the reason why I contacted you. Also, we won't need to pay you child support anymore.
What?
He died yesterday. Took a one-way trip to the underworld.
Are you seriously making jokes right now? Someone you loved passed away and you're not sad?
Why would I be sad when I know that he's free from all the burdens of life? I'm pretty sure he'd be sad if I was sad. What a horrible wife I'd be if I made him sad, right?
So, what do you want?
What do I want? I already told you. I don't have to pay you child support anymore. The house is entirely mine now. And the $1 million his father left is also all mine.
Is that why you're so giddy? I'm sorry to break it to you, girl, but he already paid child support up front. Didn't you know this?
What? He did what? I never heard anything about that.
Oh, so you didn't know. He paid us several visits during the last years of his life, too. I guess you never noticed since you were always out partying.
What? He was with you guys? Behind my back? I don't believe it.
When he got diagnosed with cancer, he really had it rough. While he was dying, you were out there living your best life. Always going out, leaving the house, always in a mess. You didn't even bother to be there for him during his chemotherapy. From early in the morning till dawn, partying and doing God knows what. The last year of his life was so rough, his body, mind, and soul all deteriorating so fast. And you, his wife, weren't there for any of it. Buying designer goods, going on expensive trips were much more important to you.
What? How did you know that?
How did I know? Well, he came to me and told me everything. He looked like he was about to collapse at any moment. He kneeled in front of us, apologized, saying how much he regrets everything, and then begged us to find the heart to forgive him for everything.
I can't believe this.
We both eventually met with a lawyer when he knew he really didn't have much time left.
You met with a lawyer? What for? What kind of scheme are you plotting?
He left us all of his estate. Literally everything he had. He updated his will with a lawyer. He wanted to make sure that we got everything. He said that he finally wanted to make things right before he passed on.
Is this true? He went behind my back and did those unspeakable things? I'm his wife. All of that is rightfully mine. Whatever will situation you're making up isn't going to take away what's due to me. You think I'll just let this happen? I'm getting a lawyer and suing you for everything. I will get what's mine. Stop making things up.
Did you say wife? What wife are you talking about? You're not his wife. You're still his mistress. Surely you knew this.
What nonsense are you talking about? We legally got married 6 years ago. I signed the certificate with my own hands. You're just spewing garbage because you don't want to give me the money. I don't believe a word you say.
If you don't believe me, go look it up in the marriage registry. He's legally single, and the only next of kin he has is our son.
What are you talking about? I signed the certificate when we got married. He told me that he was going to file it himself. How on earth would I not be the next of kin?
Oh, so you had no idea. His mother was livid when she found out what happened between us and wouldn't let him file the marriage certificate with a woman he had an affair with. And out of respect, he listened and just didn't file the marriage certificate. Did you really live with him for 6 years and you didn't know this? That's kind of sad.
No way. So I don't get anything. This makes no sense. He can't do this to me. You're the one he divorced. He left you for me. But you're getting all his money?
Why wouldn't it make sense? I have a son with him. And not only his estate, I also get the $1 million that his mother will leave us. She drafted a will saying that our son will inherit all of her estate when she eventually passes. Our son is her only grandchild. And she absolutely adores him. It's only natural that she wants my son to have the best life possible. She's constantly giving us money to help support us. She still sees my son every other day. They have such a special bond.
No way. I can't believe this. I kicked you out of your home and took everything from you. But you were receiving all that money this whole time? And now you're taking more money? What's supposed to be mine? From me? This can't be happening. I have the right to that money. At least give me half.
That's cute. It's not gonna happen. Now, get lost forever, homewrecker. You were a piece of human trash when you came into my life 6 years ago, and not a single thing has changed. That's all you are, and all you'll ever be. How does it feel that your name isn't mentioned once on my husband's will? Now that he's passed away, we definitely wouldn't have any reason to talk to each other. I'm giving you 3 days to pack your stuff and get the hell out of my house. And if you don't, I'll call the police for trespassing. Now get lost! After that, Stacy was kicked out of the house without a cent to her name. And even though I had fond memories of my marriage in that house at one point, the thought of my ex-husband and his mistress having lived here, the pain they caused were enough for me to eventually sell the house. Meanwhile, my son is thriving, getting all the love he deserves from his grandparents. And I too have found a job that brings me fulfillment. It's the blossoms of spring, the gentle rain on summer nights, and the softness of the winter snow that sometimes reminds me of the person I used to be. Someone who loved someone, unconditionally, faithfully, and without sorrow. I still can't stop thinking about my ex-husband. Although he caused so much pain in our lives that may never fully heal, there is still something in my heart that holds on to the beauty that is love. Maybe it's all the wonderful memories we once shared. The innocent, pure love that we all miss and eventually look forward to. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more content.